Welcome to the Unfiltered Path podcast, where we explore life's journeys without the constraints of filters. In a world saturated with highlight reels, we dive deep into the true essence of individual experiences, offering our listeners an uncensored glimpse into the triumphs, the struggles, and the transformative moments that define us. Our mission here is to provide hope, inspire resilience, and remind you that every path, no matter how windy or rocky, can lead to growth and enlightenment. Join us as we navigate the uncharted territories of truth to be moved, be inspired, and discover that you are not alone on this unfiltered journey of life. Hey everyone, my name is Trinity Baker, and I am a mindset coach and motivational speaker. I teach everyone that I work with how to harness the power of their mindset to create the life that they love and they have always dreamed of. I'm one of your hosts here on the Unfiltered, one of your hosts here on the Unfiltered Path podcast, joined here with my beautiful co-host.
Hi, everyone. My name is Danielle. I'm the owner of Aerial Jade. I'm an aerialist. That's a fancy term for performing suspended in the air. Essentially, I'm the bird of the circus. I'm also an educator, and I teach other people how to do it as well. And I am here with my co-host.
Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Graham Duval. I'm the owner of Valued Productions. My company works to produce and implement video marketing strategies proven to make you more successful in your business, helping turn a stranger into clients using video content, social media, and the digital world. Joined with our guest today,
Miss
our
Kaitlyn.
guest.
Yes, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Kaitlyn Cunningham Morse. I am the founder and owner of Maine Aging Partners. We are an agency that supports families through their journey of finding a higher level of care. So we work with folks in the sandwich generation who are looking to help their so sandwich generation is folks that are caring for young children and caring for older people. And we help them find assisted living for their older loved ones.
We're going to make everyone listening today super hungry because we're going to talk about different sandwiches. Graham, the sandwich generation is something I've never heard of until you met Kaitlyn.
Yeah. It's like a couple weeks ago, I'd never heard of the term sandwich generation. And I was like, I've heard of Gen Z, Gen X, things like that. But the sandwich generation, please do explain what that is for our listeners.
Sure. Yeah. So these are folks who are probably somewhere between the ages of 40 and 65. And they are, people who are caring for their grandkids at the same time as they are taking care of their older family members. So they have a lot on their plate, are exhausted a lot of the time, and just love their people. I'm pretty devoted to helping those folks find the right next step.
Yeah.
Because when you're in the midst of being the ham and cheese or the peanut butter and fluff in the sandwich, you love all of the pieces of the bread, right? Like we love our kids, we love our grandkids. And we also love our aging parents, our aging grandparents, our aging loved ones, right? It doesn't always have to be that parent figure that we're taking care of. And Kaitlyn, you and I share a lot of work. I used to do this similar thing for work and finding placement and things like that. And what I saw personally and professionally is that it takes so much emotion from you and physical ability from you, is that then you're like everything else suffers in your life, right? Because we can't give anything or very minimal to the work that we do, the businesses we have, the careers we have, our partnerships, right? So like all relationships struggle from it. Our health struggles from it. Like I remember looking back when I was that sandwich generation for a while in a couple different scenarios, like my health was at its worst in those times. And so I love what you do because you're recognizing and saying, we see you. We're here for you. I'm here to help you out of it. And I'm here to normalize it. Like it doesn't have to be like this and you don't have to do it alone.
It's a drag on everyone. But one place in particular that loses a lot of productivity is the workplace. 18% of folks who are in this sandwich and caring for aging loved ones will end up leaving the workplace part-time. 9% of the folks in that position will end up leaving their job entirely. And so it's not just a drag on the individual, although it totally is, and everything suffers and it's very difficult. It's also really hard on the people around them.
Yeah. And a lot of these people are giving up like careers.
Yeah, that's wild. Like, what do you do? Like, that's what I don't understand. You leave your job completely. How do you generate income? Like, is there
You
like
know, like,
supplemental resources, or like how does that all work
It's
even?
often a stage in retirement, I would say.
Okay. Yep,
So it's
that
just
makes
the first
sense.
step.
I'll tell you what happens when it's not a stage of retirement and you're like, in your 20s being the sand generation is you rack up a lot of fucking credit card debt. Like it is, it's the choice between being there and caring or being financially secure. Like you have to make those huge
Mm,
decisions. So that's what I love about the work that Kaitlyn does is because she makes it so you don't have to make those hard decisions.
Yeah.
You are a key. You are a light at the end of the tunnel for people. So like when I first met you, I was like, oh my God, you are my heart. I love what you do because I know what it feels like to have that light at the end of the tunnel of someone being like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah. Yep. So there's a lot of support and a lot of compassion that goes into what I do. But more importantly, what I do is I help families find the next stage in an unbiased way. So that's really key to the work that I do. I help families look at all the options. I help families of all different financial backgrounds. I'm not restricted to just private pay folks or folks who can pay privately. I'm not restricted to main care. Although main care has my heart, those are the folks that are on Medicaid. Those are the ones who might not be able to pay privately every month for assisted living, but still need the care and support. So, how do you find that for folks and finding something that will last and be a smart decision is really important to me.
Can you tell me a little bit more of how you find these people when they need you? Like how does that happen? How do they know they need
yeah.
you? I was younger, like so like I dropped out of high school to take care of family members and then college. Like I remember being like it was like the last shoe to drop at that point in my life. But I was really young. So how nobody was around to like assist the family. Like we were just winging it, everybody was just sacrificing to make it work. So I'm just
So I've done
curious.
this for 3 years. The first 3 years was largely just friends and family, people who knew me. And
Mm.
then this past August, after being introduced to BNI, I made the decision to leave my job full time. And I went part-time to focus on this business. So that was just in August. But I'm a member of BNI. I'm actually doing something I'm a little anxious about. I'm really excited, but I'm going to have radio ads.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of like trying to do all sorts of different things to reach folks because the
Radio
people are out
ads.
there and they need something different, but they don't necessarily identify that I exist.
Mm.
Mm.
I
And
wouldn't limit yourself to the sandwich generation.
Totally, totally.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the analogy because I feel like when you first said it, so I heard it today. So I had no idea. I never heard it, nothing. And you know what came to my mind is I feel like the sandwich generation in business.
mm.
I'm 39. My business is going to be 5 years old this year. I I feel like that's where I'm at or about to be. You see what I mean? In the
Yeah.
workforce, in the
Yeah.
community, like where I stand, how I bring value. It's common. Most people that are highly successful in business are 45 to 55. That's the peak
Yep.
ages actually. So I feel like, so, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like the sandwich generation and like general. I just so relate to that. But in terms of like what you experience, like family members being sick and like the family structure being kind of shaken up a bit, that just comes. Like, I think that having someone like you with a niche like that is amazing. But I do not think it's just limited to that age range whatsoever. Because I would hire you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, someone could make this feel a little less crazy.
My favorite opportunities are working with the older people directly. And a lot of times I get hired by the younger generation to support their parents.
Yeah.
So, for example, one of my very first clients, I'll always remember them. They've both since passed on, but they were both struggling with medical issues, and their daughter lived in Washington, D.C., and she hired me to work with them to convince them or help them make the next step into assisted living. And what I would do is every Friday, I would go to their house in Cape Elizabeth, and I would sit with them for an hour or two, and we would talk about their fears and their concerns and what they were struggling with. The next week, that Monday, generally, we would go and tour an assisted living facility in Greater Portland. I worked with them until they were able and ready to say, okay, let's make a change. And once they were able to make a change, they chose the facility they went to themselves. And I feel like there's nothing more empowering than that situation.
You know what I think is beautiful about that situation, Kaitlyn, is that like some of the hesitation that you hear from families who know that their loved ones are heading towards that, they're getting so much pushback from that loved one, right? Like, I'm not ready for that. I don't want to go to that. They feel like they're trying to put them away. You know, like I remember all these things that clients would say to me when I was working with them in the roles that I had, but you give them a voice. And you are not related to them. You have no stake in what they do, right? Like, you just are here to help, and that's it. I'm here to support you, give you resources, help you guide along the way. So if you have a loved one, for our listeners, like if you have a loved one who is aging, who you know is heading towards this at some point, they might not have to be ready tomorrow, but Kaitlyn can be that support for them so that when they are ready, they're ready. Feel supported.
I forgot to mention that I teach a lot of classes in the community. Just basic assisted living 101. Like, here's what it is. Here's how you approach it when you're ready to move on. And that's also a part of my mission or my approach, I guess.
We got to have an actual one-to-one, Kaitlyn. We got to have an actual one-to-one. Because I'm curious to see how your radio ads do. And if you're teaching classes too, like there's a lot of opportunities I think that you can harness to get that mission out there that I can share some insights on.
Yeah. I think this is it, right? Like if I'm like stepping into my coaching role for a second, like how I feel as a coach, which is really what you are too, just for a different individual, right? We want to help everyone. You want to literally help everyone, but our one-to-one coaching services can only be given so many hours per week and so many hours per day. So I think what Graham is saying is that there's a lot of ways you can get this information out to the masses so that when they're ready, they contact you. It's like making sure people know the resources there before shit hits the fan. Like, definitely. Because in the midst of the chaos, you would rather have the pieces in place before you have to pick up the pieces.
Exactly.
Because if you're stuck and you can't identify what those pieces are, and that happens all the time.
Oh, yeah.
You're certainly not going to be able to recognize that someone like me exists, let alone that there's an alternative. You're just sweating.
And I mean, the number one thing in any sort of making a change in anything is identifying that thing, and getting that clarity on whatever it is. So like, that's the first step in any sort of journey.
Yep. The self-awareness. You got to have the self-awareness. And I think that like the first thing is just saying like, hey, me or my loved one are heading towards that. How can we prepare? That's beautiful. Danielle,
I'm such an advocate for mental health. And, I've read a lot of self-help books or how to build a business or how to even manage my 20s. That was a scary place. So mentally, you know what I mean? And one common thread that you can't ignore is that people resource professional coaching in whatever area they need help in. That is what really resources. That's what it all comes down to. Like, and so I don't know. I just love knowing when someone has a niche coaching kind of aid ability because I'm just for that. You know, that's
Yeah.
why I exist. That's
Yeah,
how I have a
Yeah,
business.
because it is
You know what I mean?
it is so
Like I'm
specific.
here for it. Like I help people heal. Like I help people get healthy. I'm a coach. Very niched
I was going to say,
and
Danielle, I'm sure you
specialized.
are like, and that's one of the things that sets me apart too. I'm the only one in the state of Maine doing what I do from the angle I do it from.
That's
There are people
wild.
who do placement work, but the
Yeah.
people who do placement work get paid by the facility once they've placed someone. So they're only working with private pay clients and they're getting paid by a select number of facilities. So you're not getting the whole, you're not getting all the information.
Right.
What are you guys like
Wow.
transition coaches or like trauma organizers?
No,
That's what it
so
feels like because everything feels heavy when you're going through something, right? And
yes.
I remember, okay, this is like different but the same. I was like in a very unhealthy relationship. Don't worry, I didn't stay long. It's not that bad. However, somebody gave me the phone number, address, made the appointment for me, my first one, to go talk to someone.
Yeah.
Like they made it like they did everything they possibly could besides make me go,
Mhm.
you know, and that was just so helpful
It's
in that moment.
right. It's that light. It's that someone from the outside saying, I'm here. I have what you need. I'll help you every step of the way. I can do everything but make you do it. Right. But I'm here when you're ready to take that step. That is invaluable. You cannot put a price tag on that type of help. You can't.
Bro,
Mhm.
Can't.
because like some of my greatest testimonials are from things I was just not even aware about necessarily, but people were working through specific things and me just being intuitive and conscious and caring. I was there for those moments and yeah, those are the best. Is I love that. Hey, so I have these random questions. Can we just like bust out a few, just spice things up? Because we are in a sensitive space in our combo.
Definitely. Definitely.
Okay. In what place or situation more than any other would you feel completely out of your element or comfort zone?
That's
you. Bar.
Wants to go. What is it?
A bar.
Sorry, because
Mm.
I did not mean to scream into my little mic over here.
Bar in a club. A bar in a club. A bar in
I feel that so much.
not even where I want to be. I want in my space. I don't want it at all.
I feel that.
Yeah. Out of my comfort zone. That's a tough one. I would say, like, um, financial planning or like financial stuff, like dealing with banks. That's like so above my head. Let someone else do with
Graham, I love
People that don't speak my
I love
language.
that. I love that so much for you because I see that changing for you really quickly.
Yeah.
When you say that, I see you sitting in a bank, sitting there like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you in like 3 months sitting at the bank being like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think mine is
Yeah.
language
Like,
barriers. Like when
Language.
I'm around, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in a couple scenarios where I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then so I have such a layer of empathy for when I see someone that doesn't speak English because
Mhm.
I think that's when I felt like most vulnerable.
Ooh, yeah. How that's huge, right? You can imagine the uncomfortableness of for them. I
Oh,
used
for sure. I easily can. It was first I moved to New Jersey and I didn't know how to speak Spanish. And there were a couple moments in public transportation that I felt so helpless. And then I remember when I moved to Florida, I went to Miami without someone that did spoke Spanish. And there was a couple moments that sucked too. And so I have I swore, my bad. I just have an extra layer of empathy when I'm finding someone else in that scenario because
I used to do home visits as a nurse and I used to go into like Arabic communities and Somalia communities and like I was so blown away at how amazing their communication was. But I felt totally out of space. Like I want to talk to you. I want to communicate so badly with you and have like deep in-depth conversations, but I don't know how. And that was very, very eye-opening. Yeah.
Mm.
How about you, Kaitlyn?
I think for me, I'm just thinking about my past, my past life and things I've done. And probably the most uncomfortable situation was when I had to work on the back of a garbage truck.
No, say that. No, thank you. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I've
Thought
done
that
that.
maybe like a week ago.
I've
That's
definitely
really
done
funny
that.
because I remember looking at someone do that and I was like, no, there must be so cold.
Oh, right.
You
Yeah.
wake up at like 1 a.m. and you go out and it's gross and smells bad.
And it's
Mhm.
cold, it's Maine.
It's that where's that show? That show is like the worst jobs in America or something, where this like guy goes around and does like the
Dirty
worst
jobs. Dirty
Yeah.
jobs. Yeah.
jobs. But I think it makes you see like, I mean, Kaitlyn, you probably have a lot of gratitude for trash pickup people now, right?
I do. I'm so weird. This was like a week ago. I mentally thought that, and here you are, like identifying.
I'm gonna give a plug for Dan Emerson. He works for
Heck yeah.
Trash Waste
Love that.
Removal. He's in our BNI group and he's fabulous.
Oh
We
my
should
gosh.
send
I was
like a
having a
cookie basket or something to a random person that has that job title that we feel
Well,
should just
I was
have.
having a conversation with Dan the other day, and he was talking about the whole idea where people, it's like the whole archaic idea of people standing on the back of a trash truck, and that like they're even starting to implement automation where it's like a truck that's got like
That should be invested in.
yeah, like an arm that just goes and they just drive and like
Yeah.
picks up the stuff and
The
I
truck
know
that
this
I
might be a
work
little
on,
controversial, what I'm about to say, both of the things that I'm about to say, but I
Okay.
am pro AI. I think people
Yeah.
that I'm like, and then this is why, because it's kind of like inappropriate, but there's such a truth to it. Sometimes it's harsh. So they were saying that women that became entrepreneurs essentially are doing exactly what they would do if they were at-home wives. They just get paid for it now. And I laughed because there's truth to it. Like given like we had no financial responsibilities, right? Like just we'll say I would probably be doing the exact same thing I'm doing now. And I just giggled because there's truth to it. Like say just like we were in some old structure. And I was like, it's a beautiful thing though. I don't know, like I
I'm
don't
here
know
for
where I
that,
was even
right?
going with both those comments, but
I'm here for that. No, I think that that's true in my case, right? I would just be pouring into little humans and my friends and family versus
yeah,
professionally.
but you would probably be doing the same thing. Like if you were just giving, we all are so in tune with what we're good at, right? Like we're authentically ourselves. Once you're doing that, I just laughed. It's just a harsh way of saying it. Like some jerk was said it online or something. But I was like, yo, like there's some truth to that. Like, and I feel for masculinity. Like, what would you be doing if you had a little bit of like financial freedom? Like, but it's a beautiful thing to say, like, a lot of entrepreneurs are just doing what they would have done anyways. So
Oh yeah,
it's pretty
definitely.
cool. And then I
Uh,
love that technology is only aiding that. What would you be doing if you could do less of, like, if someone was doing my laundry that takes 3 hours of my day to like chug to the dryer because mine broke? Like, it just, like imagine something, these basic things are eliminated. and we
Mhm.
don't have to do them anymore. So then we have to be conscious individuals and start pouring into creativity. What would we be doing? Like passion work with community? How do we provide? I'm just for it.
I love
So
it. Imagine a
I
washing machine walking around your house and picking up laundry off the floor.
oh, that would be
God.
sweet.
The
That would be
garbage guy
sweet.
no longer has to be a garbage guy, and now he can be,
Just
A
a
big
truck
trash
driver.
can knocks on your door on Tuesday mornings and says, "Give me your bags of trash."
yes.
Uh,
I
so
love
I
it.
got another random question kind of on the whole sandwich side of things. So, a sandwich, we all know what a sandwich is. Is a burger a sandwich?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Is a burger is a see, I
The
don't think
definition of sandwich is
a
simple.
burger is a
Two
sandwich.
things in between two other things.
Is a panini sandwich?
Yes.
A panini, I guess, is a
Yeah.
sandwich. Yeah,
Italian a sandwich?
Yeah.
I suppose. Yeah.
Even
A-
lettuce wraps to me are sandwiches. Like if
A
you
bur-
have two of anything that
Yeah.
smushes anything and then enters, it is a sandwich.
It's a sandwich.
Oh man.
So is like if you are, say you're doing low carb, right? So if you take like the lettuce, the big
Mhm.
lettuce pieces, and you sandwich them together, it's a
That
sandwich.
is a sandwich. That is a sandwich. I believe that to be true.
Sandwich.
See, I don't know. I think a burger should be considered its own thing. Like a sandwich is a sandwich, and then a burger is a burger.
Do you really,
Ah.
so let me ask you, do you really like burgers or do you not like burgers?
Oh, I love burgers.
Clearly,
I'm
the
all about the
biased
burgers.
burger person
All
over
about,
here.
yeah.
From love. Okay, so this is coming from love. Graham wants burgers to be their own category.
Yes. So it's like we got sandwiches, we got burgers, paninis, Italians. But
Yeah.
I guess a panini is more of a sandwich, and same thing with an Italian.
Is a calzone a sandwich?
No, calzone is not a sandwich.
Calzone is more similar to pizza.
Yeah.
Yes.
Roan is a flipped over pizza. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like it's
Folded.
stuff in between two pieces of bread.
But it's not separated. You know what I mean? It's like
Fair.
it's all
Fair.
one like piece.
Now, I would fight for pizza to be its own category. Like pizza is, I love pizza.
Pizza, yeah, is definitely its own category.
I would
Okay,
eat.
so I have another question. If you could have any prop used in a movie, which prop would you choose? And I know my
Ooh.
answer.
Ooh.
I want
copies
the
of
time.
movie? Oh.
I want the car from Back to the Future.
Oh, that would be sweet.
I don't know if I want to mess with time too much or anything, but that was my first thought. Like I just wanted to have that car.
So if you could have the prop from any movie, is that the question?
Can we have a person?
Which
Prop
person?
prop from
Yeah,
any
you know what? I think that if I could have a person, you know the movie Fried Green Tomatoes?
Yeah.
I would have the old lady in the nursing home.
Do you know I call Giselle LaWanda when she's acting out
I love
that movie, and no one ever knows what I'm talking about because they don't know that movie?
No, I do. I would have,
Aw,
and I would sit with her and eat a candy bar with her every day.
I love that because that is so what we've been talking about in this.
So mine would be the lamp from Aladdin.
Ooh.
Oh, cool.
I, for some reason, thought of the Christmas story with the leg lamp.
A leg lamp.
My dad has one of those. He has a
Love
replica
it.
of the actual. It's an actual lamp, and it works.
Oh,
And
listen,
it's the leg.
I totally believe that
When
Neil.
you said lamp, my brain created that image. It was like a picture.
Mine would be the ruby slippers because I'm very classic.
I love that.
Mm.
I love that. Or like the pumpkin carriage from Cinderella.
See, I'm not a Cinderella girl.
No, not a Cinderella girl.
No, I think it's a little too it's a little too feminine for me.
Yeah. Well,
You know, I feel like the mannequin from Mannequin.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm here for that. I'm here.
I feel like the way I have to turn my talent on and off, I'm starting to feel like a puppet. I think that's why I performed to Nirvana Teen Spirit last time. I needed to release some like rage or like just like I don't even know. I just like wanted to scream somehow, like politely.
Politely. I wanted to scream politely. I saw this thing, Danielle. You might want to try it. So you take all the pumpkins left over from Halloween. Today's Halloween. Happy Halloween. You take all the pumpkins left over from Halloween and you take a bat to them and you just smash them.
No, I'm not even actually angry. I'm like artistically frustrated.
You could create some really beautiful art with that. I'm just saying.
I've even like stopped like raising my voice to my kids this year. They even complimented me. I feel like I've overcome so much. But
We have. I feel like all of us have had significant growth. And Kaitlyn, I don't know you well, but I know from what you just said, like I dropped down from my job to part-time and you really went all in with this business because of the mission. Like we have had some significant growth. And did you know that 2024 is the year of significant growth? There's a lot of there's a lot of like astrologic things and like
the numbers.
It is a year of growth. And they say that like the growth you step into, the momentum you gain in 2024 is the momentum that you will keep ongoing.
Interesting.
Well, like it equals the number 8. So it's like the karmic loop. Like we're just going through our steps again. Cool. We're recommitting to ourselves. Like what you said, like that is huge. By the way, let's just take a moment. I remember that moment so clearly and how it's just the most challenging form of self-love.
Yeah.
Is to commit to a business, in my opinion. Like, and it takes so much confidence because nobody's there cheering you on every day, especially when like you don't have a business to lean on, you're building it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like a crazy place in life. And I commend you for taking
and especially when you have like a world that doesn't support that. Like we all have family and friends that love the crap out of us, but they say things that don't support our mission and where we're going. And they see us doing a lot of work that's not instant paid, right? Because we come from a culture that's like, well, how much are you making per hour? And it's like, I know that I'm not making any money right now, but like this will lead to a big impact, which will make me money, I promise. And so I hope that this is what the podcast gives our listeners who are just like, have that person in their ear. And I hope that we can replace that voice that tells you you're not doing it right and tell you that you are doing it right. Continue. Just keep going.
And the path that like, it doesn't matter what it is. Cause I mean, even just here today, Kaitlyn, your business is so specific and niche. You're the only person in Maine that does it. Danielle, your business is so specific in what you do. And so like, I was having a conversation the other day with someone and like, you know, we were just talking about like finding, I can't even remember what it was, but I was like, there's probably a business for that. There's literally a business or a community for anything. I mean, if you had 9 fingers and 9 toes, like you could probably find a community that was all filled with people with 9 fingers and 9 toes. And you could start a business that was like, how you help 9-toed, 9-fingered people. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, Graham. I love that. That's beautiful. Yes.
There's probably a Facebook.
There probably, I'm saying.
For that group of people. Oh my God.
I think the reality is that we are given certain uniqueness and creativity. And we live in a society that pushes our uniqueness away and tells us that it's wrong right from the get-go, right? Like right from the start. And that if we really start to look at our uniqueness, we have so much potential to make an impact in this world. And 99% of it can be businesses.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We're the revolution.
Yeah.
Small business owners.
Kaitlyn, you do such amazing work. Thank you for all that you do for the communities of Maine. And I would love for this to go farther for you. I would love for you to like have this New England mission eventually someday. I would love for that because I think what you do is so important. And if you're the only one doing it in Maine, you need to be the only one doing it in Massachusetts. All that too, but because if you think about it, like there are a lot of loved ones, like there are a lot of people in Maine who have loved ones out of state, right? So if you had something where you were, some type of franchise or something that like communicated with each other, like that would just be really easy transitions compared to what I've seen before that are not easy transitions, right? So thank you for all that you do. Where can people find you? Where can a listener who's like, okay, I'm the ham and cheese right here in this sandwich. I need some help.
So I've checked all the boxes. I can't say they're great, but like I'm on Facebook and I'm on LinkedIn and I have a website. I haven't invested in them as much as I'd like to, but maybe someday.
All growing. We're all growing.
Yeah, thank you. Probably, honestly, the best thing that works for me is a text to my phone.
Love that.
Perfect.
Let me give you my number. It's 207-899-5780.
Perfect.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you joining us today. And for all the listeners, the podcast being a place that can inspire you to, if you're looking to start that business or that passion thing that you have, like Danielle was saying, what are you already doing already? That's what a business is. Like, how do you get paid to do that thing that you're already doing already? And it doesn't matter how niche down it is, from like what Kaitlyn's doing, Danielle, all of us here are pretty specific businesses. And so I hope that inspires some people to take action. And then just the fact that our guest Kaitlyn here today is like what she's helping people with, like spread that word, because there's more people. Let's get those statistics down. And again, thank you for listening. My name is Graham, owner of Valued Productions. You can find me on social media at Valued Productions, VALUD Productions, same thing, website valuedproductions.com. You reach out to me through there if you have any marketing questions. Happy to help. Joined with my co-host today.
Hey everyone, Trinity Baker, mindset coach and motivational speaker. You can find me on all social media platforms. I am obsessed with spreading positivity and mindset tips and tricks and how you can really harness the power of your mindset starting today. So you can find me on all social media, The Trinity Baker, and also my website, thetrinitybaker.com. Joined here with my co-host.
Hi, everyone. My name is Danielle. I'm the owner of Aerial Jade. You can find me on Aerial Jade or Aerial Jade Art on every platform, I feel like. And I commonly inspire everyone's inner superhero, whether you're a parent or just starting to go to the gym or you're directly affected by aerial arts. I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything to inspire you to be your greatest person. And we are here with our wonderful guest today. That's you, girl.
Thank you. Yeah, again. Kaitlyn Cunningham, Morse with Maine Aging Partners. We help families in an unbiased way find and assess and choose assisted living and higher level of care.
Awesome. Give your number one more time for our listeners.
207-899-5780.
Awesome.
Oh my God. Can I just say that I recently met a celebrity and I gave him my business card that didn't have any of my information on it?
Happens. See, we're all growing. So I hope that
just says Aerial Jade. I bring it to fairs so I can autograph the back for kids, because there's like hundreds of children that see me perform, to some Disney movie thing. So I sign the back. Well, I get this opportunity and he literally acknowledged the fact that I could perform on his tour that's coming up. And it was like a moment with an audience, me. It was like a official moment, but I did not have official business cards. I did not have my phone number listed anywhere.
And
literally.
So I hope that gives
shout it from the sky, girl.
I hope that this gives our listeners and you, Kaitlyn, some hope that like we are all growing. There's no linear path to anything we are doing in life. And I think that is a message that we need to shout from the rooftops, to just do it and stop thinking it will be perfect, because it is not. All right.
So we challenge our listeners to just take that action.
Your phone number from the rooftops and make sure they're on your business cards.
Exactly. And the action that we want you to take is to go subscribe and follow all the Unfiltered Path podcasts, and make sure that you tune in next week to the Unfiltered Path podcast, and we'll see you all then.